A few days ago, I saw a tweet from a news article saying that the Squid Game's creator would consider a Season 4 in the future. So today, I'm going to be diving in to that idea, and I'm going to be planning out my dream Season 4 of Squid Game based on that very controversial finale that we got to Season 3. So I'm going to do, hopefully, a 9 episodes for Season 4, similar to the first season. So, naturally, today, we're going to start with the first episode, and see how this goes. Yeah, so let's begin with this episode. Squid Game 401, The Golden Mask. The episode opens, longer scene, driving through what I assume was like Los Angeles in the end of Season 3. I think it was Los Angeles. But then it would also show the brand new saleswoman scene again, and it would show that as an extended scene. Inho would then, he would drive off, carry on, he would just drive wherever, who's taking him. You know, we don't really know who the driver is. Leaving the camera with the saleswoman. She finishes her game of Dakji with the man she was playing with in Season 3. The camera follows the recruiter through the streets of Los Angeles, and this is where the new main character is revealed. Because, of course, Gi-hun, sadly, had to sacrifice himself at the end of the third season. So we do need a brand new main character, and it is going to be an American actor. So do let me know who you would want to see as like an American actor be the new main character for Squid Games. So we meet him, and they would play Dakji, just not like any kind of person would play. And then after they've played, they get the business card, the notorious business card. Cuts back to some months before this, and we have an extended scene of the new main character's current life situation. He's a father of 4, but he's also a widower. His wife died in the childbirth of the 4th child, which is very sad. Of course, he's working 2 jobs just to get by. He owes lots of money to several people, even including colleges for his oldest child. So of course, this man, he needs money, and he's got that option to make a lot of money from the saleswoman, so cuts back to present day, whereas the situation is much more dire than we've just seen. He collects his girls from school and drops them off with his mother. He calls the games to join. We now return to Inho, which, if this is going to happen, Inho has to have a big part of this. Now, I will, and as we're getting into this, I will now say I know the American one is going to be a spin-off. As I say, this would be my vision of how they did a Season 4. Of course, they're not going to do it like this because the American spin-off is going to be separate. But this is how I would envision it. So, yes. But yes, back to Inho, which is a big main focus for me. I love Inho as a character, so I want to keep him in the story. His limo had been driven to the docks. He meets a bunch of golden mask people. Of course, these are the VIPs. We've seen 2 sets of VIPs. I think I would like these to be the original VIPs from the first season, if we can get them back. Because that was probably my biggest letdown to Season 3 even, is that we didn't have those original VIPs. It was a real letdown. I was really excited to see them again. He shakes their hands, introducing himself. They know who he is, and they commend him for being a great frontman in Korea. They hand him a box. And of course, when opening this box, I would want it to be really suspenseful what it's going to be. His own golden mask. That is where the episode's title comes from. The VIPs, they gift Inho his own golden mask. He boards the boat, leaving the VIPs behind. The captain of the boat is that same captain that survived Season 3. A big thing with me writing this first episode is I wanted to include different points from all the seasons. So of course, Inho's from all three. That captain's from the the second and third season. I want to incorporate as much as I can and show that with Inho taking over the American games, things from his Korean games have come over in terms of characters and things like that. Meanwhile, back with the new character, he gets his affairs in order. He takes time off work. He goes to the car park at 2 o'clock in the morning, like he was instructed. At the car park, he meets 5 people. These all 5 people could even, we could even go in more depth of this, like with the beginning of Season 2, where we showed loads of different characters before. So what we could, in turn, do is have more scenes where it shows the backstory of these 5 people, and then they all meet together in this car park. They all introduce themselves to each other and wait to be picked up. Of course, we know these are going to be by the pink guards. The van arrives, and the pink guard reads their names and invites them in. Now, of course, notoriously for the Squid Games, they gas you out when you get into the car, or the van, in this case. So they all get gassed out. And then it cuts back over to Inho. He's on the boat. The boat is approaching the island. Dramatic shots as they approach the docks. Meanwhile, the contestant's boat is leaving mainland Los Angeles. It cuts to arrival, and the play is being taken into the changing room. Now, I think the first season it had a large scene of, I think it was when they went back in to the games for the second time, when they all decided they agreed to all go back. They showed a scene of what they did with them. They stripped them off, they put the clothes on, they checked everything, they checked if they didn't have any items on them they shouldn't have. All the girls worked together, as I just said. They stripped the contestants, they put them into the uniforms, they would take all their stuff. We could even have, we could zoom in on the main character here, we could zoom in on the other characters we've met so far. And of course, it's going to be the main team. This is going to be the team that packed together all the way through. The cut to the quarters with the normal, whatever, I'll play it, a bit of it, so no copyright, with the normal music playing. Focusing on the new main character as he wakes up and walks down to the middle. Everybody else. Now, of course, this will feel heavily like the first season, but also won't, because we already know what's going to happen, which is different. The doors open and the soldiers enter. Behind them, Inho, in his usual grey coat, with the new golden bars. Inho says, "Welcome to the 2025 games." End credits. I do hope you really enjoyed this first episode of the Squid Games Season 4. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments who you'd want the main character to be in Squid Games Season 4. You can name any American actor, whoever you think, really. So yeah, give me your opinions on that. Give me your opinions on what you thought of my concept episode. Now, I do know this could never happen, so don't just go down in comments and just say this could never happen, it's never going to happen, because I do know that. As I've said, this is my vision of how I would like Squid Game Season 4 to be, based on how Season 3 ended. Now, of course, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe, because this is a brand new channel, brand new series, and of course, yeah. So, I'll see you all soon, so, goodbye.